Hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Alright, today is October 12th, 2021, and this is the live stream. Welcome. Let me know if the music's too loud. Hey Google, turn it down. That's better. Alright, yeah, so let me check that the stream's live. Indeed, yeah, looks like we have a great connection, and we're live. Okay. Alright, so today we're going to do a few things. We're obviously going to look at Bitcoin, as we tend to do. We seem to have corrected finally. We seem to have lost that support that we were holding forever. So we're gonna look at that, and see how low we can go. All right, because I think most people at this point would admit the chart doesn't look as good as people claim it did. I mean, I've heard people say, "Oh, this is a beautiful chart." It's like, what are you looking at? Like, it's just head and shoulders galore, right? It's just like, they're like, no, it's a bull flag. It's like, where the hell do you see a bull flag? An uptrending bull flag? Like, what? Like, you don't see the head and shoulders left and right? Anyway, so yeah, most people would agree that we're correcting, and so today I'd like to answer where are we going to correct to? That's the first thing. Secondly, I think this is an opportunity. I think everything should be turned into opportunity. If we're doing this correctly, we shouldn't, one, be caught unawares by correction, right? Fine, there do exist corrections that happen due to kind of external fundamental factors that, you couldn't see in the charts. This, I think, was clear enough to see, right? I've been calling for this for 4 or 5 days. Obviously, I did not know when the B wave would end, and that's just the nature of the B wave. It's funky, it's very complex, it's intricate, it's full of complex correction. And those of you who are subscribed to the channel will know one of the hardest things to do in Elliott wave analysis, right, in technical analysis, is to track a correction. Because corrections, although you know that they happen in ABC patterns, that it's just, the permutations of what a correction can look like are almost endless. Fundamentally, yeah, there are just a few patterns, but then you start getting into the weeds, and it just gets intricate. It's hard to see. Even after the fact, you can try and count it, but it's hard to do real time. Anyway. Long-term corrections, short-term corrections less so. Short-term corrections are more straightforward, but long-term corrections are really tough. So yeah, I just didn't know when that B wave was going to end. Is it going to be a running flat? Is it going to be a zigzag? Is it going to be an extended flat? All those make, and then within that, the B wave can go anywhere from the 1236 to the 1618, right? So it's tough to say. In any case, now that we finally lost support, and what am I talking about? I drew this line here to show where the support is. This is our most recent support, this white line right here. This is the larger support of this larger trend. I hope you see that, right? So this is kind of the local support, and you can clearly see head and shoulders, right? I'm not even going to waste time drawing it out fancy with the tool, but right, that's the ugliest. Here, let's do that again and not rush it. That's the left, that's the head, that's the right. And then within the head and shoulders, you see head and shoulders. People who swear by pattern analysis, it's like, literally, what are you looking at? That is bearish, and obviously we broke down from it, but we've been printing head and shoulders at this top since October 7th, right? It's October 12th, so for pretty much 5-6 days, There's just been a bunch of head and shoulders, still no breakdown, and then we've been rising. But you're not necessarily anybody that's trading this B wave. Either you're like a genius master chartist and you can track the B wave and you know exactly how to long it. You mean the whole long B wave? I was actually trading a bit of it, but like piece by piece. I couldn't tell you when it was going to end, but in parts it's tradable, but it's complex. So yeah, I did not know when we were going to break down, but to long this like as a whole, to say yeah, we're at 53 and I know we're going all the way to 57.8. Maybe somebody could have. Maybe there's somebody out there. There's always somebody. I'm not gonna say nobody can do it. You'd be surprised what people can do. So maybe there's some special chartists out there that knew that this is where we were going to go, and at that point, 57.8 was the top, because once we get in to 58, it invalidates the running flat, right? Because if you pull the fibs down from the top to the bottom here, 58 is the 1618 almost exactly. Or no, 57, wherever we're at. 57.8 is the 1618. So basically anything above that, you would invalidate that expanded flatten. So that theory goes out the window, and it's no longer a correction. You're dealing with something else. So maybe there's people out there that could do that. I just couldn't. You know what I mean? I was trading it, but I couldn't tell you exactly when it was going to end. I thought I did, but I didn't know. I kept getting it wrong. Some of you guys you were laughing at me, like Crypto says. They were laughing in my face. He's so funny. I watch his stuff just to laugh. I mean, I don't particularly think his analysis is that good, but he is so funny. He's one of my favorite channels to laugh at. Well, I'm not laughing at. I guess yeah, I'm laughing at him. I mean, no disrespect. You know what I mean? Like, the guy, he knows what he's doing. He's done it well, right? He's going long right now. Like, what? Yeah, he kind of knows what he's doing. Like, what? He said he was going long this morning. Like, and we started breaking down at around 10:15 a.m. So I know he lives in Germany and he's probably in Dubai now. But like, what? No, that's weird. Anyway, yeah, Crypto is one of my favorite perma bulls because he's just funny. And then one of my favorite perma bears to laugh at is Crypto Kirby. He is hilarious. He is so funny. I don't care about the analysis. Like, he just uses a bunch of indicators anyway. His analysis is okay, but not really. It's just too dependent on like the whole moving average and like all these special indicators. He doesn't really do his own analysis as much, but he's hilarious. He's so fucking funny. Anyway, so yeah, we just lost this initial support, and the big support that we would need to lose to see the big drop would be this support. You see that? Because ever since the 7th, we've pretty much been riding this line of support, printing bearish patterns but bouncing off it, printing bearish patterns, bouncing off it, and we just actually barely breached this support. We kind of, well, for the first time barely breached it. Well, obviously here on this Bitstamp chart, we have a wick down below, but there's a body of a candle down below and a wick, right? So we're looking, we're showing signs of weakness here. So it's likely that we will breach it soon, and when we do, that's when we really fall. And the distance we fall is going to be at the very least the height, right, of this move from the breakdown. It's going to be at least to 52 52K, right? So it's going to be a sudden drop of 5%, right? That's the 5% I was calling for the other day. I thought it was going to happen before. I think 2-3 days ago I said Bitcoin's going to drop 5% today, and it didn't drop. All right. So for most of you who are subscribed, you know that I use Elliott wave analysis, and I like to track things very carefully. And that's basically how I trade. I'm trading each and every leg pretty much, and I've been doing that with a high degree of success. And I think that's the easiest way to do it, to be honest. I don't like to give money back to the market, especially when I'm trading on high leverage with a large account. That's a lot of money. This leg is a lot of money. And then to give it all back, these two waves in crypto, two waves are supposed to retrace 50 to 61.8%. In crypto, I see them retrace quite frequently to the 886, so 88.6%, 90% sometimes. What's up with that? 78.6%. I'm gonna check the chat, see if anybody is here. Anybody knows what's up with that? Because I think that's strange. Let's see. Let's open this chat. I'm trying to open it on my phone because I don't want to split my screen. Okay, here we go. Oh, hey, Rich. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what's up with that. We seem to go much higher than usual. So that's why I got this two wave up here. Also because, you know, I got a VPVR showing a point of control up here. So it's quite obvious that we're going to retest that at some point, at least to that point, right? But I've got it going higher because that's just what I see in crypto. Usually it's like right above the point of control, right where most of the trading happened. You know, it's like, okay, let me reclaim that and then let me dump. I did also chart these 5 waves down, and I used fibs just to measure, and you can see this is definitely a 3 wave. You can see 1, 2, wait, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, you see 5 waves. Wait, no. Sorry. This third wave, you can see 5 waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, an extended 5 wave in this third wave. And then you see 1, 2, right? And then you see the fourth wave. It's a tiny fourth wave, just retracing 23.6%, which is the minimum retracement of a fourth wave. Then you see an extended fifth wave. So it's interesting. You see an extended fifth wave in the third wave, and you see extended fifth wave in the larger kind of impulse. So that's what I traced down. So that's basically my 1 wave, right? Because it's fractal. So within the 1 wave, you get 5 waves. So 1 and then 2 is going to retrace that. And then 3 is going to come down here. So we have, let's see, just to show you guys what I'm talking about. Let's see. From the top to the bottom, because I want to target to the top. Yeah, see, I got this coming all the way almost between the 786 and the 886. Not many people use the 886. I just started using it myself. But that is an interesting Fibonacci level. I see a lot of 2-wave retracements coming up to that in crypto. Not necessarily in Forex, not in traditional markets, but in crypto. And that's interesting to me because, you know, you would think that, you know, all markets are more or less the same, but some markets have their you know, idiosyncrasies, if you will. So I think that's interesting about crypto. So yeah, I think we're coming up here for the 2 waves. So that's super tradable, right? If you're trading, you know, that you finish that 5. Why do I do this? It's because I want to know what it's doing. I don't want to be surprised, right? And when it's following what I'm doing, I have more confidence to trade it. So I'm gonna do that, right? So I see 5 waves down, and I know, okay, we're turning around. We turned around really quickly here. We just wicked down and boom, started going back up. Once we started going back up, I know that we're gonna go
down.
Hey, buddy. Oh, somebody's crashed the stream. That's my son. Nicolas, je suis en train d'enregistrer. You want to say hi? Nicolas, you want to say hi? Hi. That's my son, Nicholas, everyone. All right, so we're going up quite a bit. So yeah, this is super tradable. So if you were down here, let's say you were shorting Bitcoin down here all the way to the 1, and you turn around, take profit, and you start longing it. That's basically what I do, and I rinse and repeat. I don't know for a fact that, you know, this is exactly going to play out, but more or less it's, you know, it's more right than it is wrong. So it's extremely lucrative. But once we get up here, you see top signs. Maybe you look at the RSI, or stochastic RSI. You look at other signals. You see that we're losing steam. You count 5 waves up. Then you turn around, you do it again. You trade it down. And then you just rinse and repeat. And then once you finish your 5 waves, you trade your ABC correction. So that's simple. So yeah, that's basically what I got here. And to answer the question, how low are we going to go? I use 2 different things. All right. First things first, and I've talked about this, so those of you subscribed know. We've got an ABC correction here, right? So let's zoom out for a sec. We've got 5 waves up, right? So right after your 5 waves up, you go down, that's your A wave. Then you go back up, that's your sort of dead count bounce, as people call it, or your relief rally, that's your B wave, right? And then you get a C wave if it's a flat or a running flat. So a flat or a running flat or a zigzag, you get a C wave. Sorry, a running flat or a zigzag, your C wave is going to be 200 or 223.6% of the A wave. If it's a running flat, your C wave is going to be inverse 1618 of the B wave. And so that's how I got this target, okay? That's the first thing I did. Second thing I did is I waited for candles to print, right? So like I told you, I counted this 5 waves down, so that's going to be first wave, right? Then you count your second wave, and look where the second wave ends. You're going to retest, most likely, I don't know for sure, but I put money on, well, I'm not trading this right now. I'm still in a short on Litecoin. But I'd put money on the fact that you retest this trend line here. Because you lost, right? You lost support of this head and shoulders. And you're going to probably come back and retest it. You know, price action's regular. As irregular and as kind of crazy as the market is, there are certain principles that are followed, right? One of those principles is a retest. That's, you know, one of the reasons I think that this 2 wave is coming up so high, right? You lost support, you're gonna come back up and retest, and we're already on our way up there. You see that? Let's see really quickly what Litecoin is doing. Hopefully it's going down and not too high up. I've got my stops in profit, but still. Okay, good. 171. Yeah, good. Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Because sometimes, you know, when Bitcoin is pumping, you know, even in a B wave, you know, these alts will follow. But it looks like, you know, a lot of them are not necessarily doing that right now. Anyway, back to Bitcoin. Whoops, right here. So yeah. So you're going to reach up here, then turn around. And remember, if you want to get, and I think this is really helpful, it's really useful, when you're doing this technical analysis, the more precise you are, the better trader you are, right? you know, more everybody knows 5 waves up, 5 waves down, Elliott wave analysis, ABC, right? But you want to get precise. You want to get, you know, surgical with it, you know, by using the fibs, by you know, doing patterns and corrections. And a lot of even really, really good traders, profitable traders, you know, because there are levels, profitable traders don't really use that. And that's not the best thing, because if you use them, they're really, really helpful. So, and one of the ways you can use these is going into the lower time frames. You know, 1 second. Let me plug. I don't know why my computer's been unplugged. 1 second. Non, Nico, je ne suis pas Woody. Okay, so you're going back up here, and to see a lot of this detail, right? Because this move's happening within what? I'm on the 45. What am I on? I'm on the 45-minute chart. So this move's been happening for 2.5 hours, right? 3.5 hours, something like that. You need to go into lower time frames, and you know, 15-minute, 5-minute even, just to see. And one thing I'll say is, I recently upgraded my subscription of TradingView to premium, and it's quite a lot. It's like $600 a year, but it's well worth it if you're trading and making, you know, money trading, and you can make a lot, right? It's well worth it, because being able to see detail in real time, it just gives you more information and feeds your charts faster, and you can go smaller time frames and you don't see as much chop. It's really helpful. So I'm in the 5-minute chart, and you can see exactly what I'm talking about. A, B, C, right? That's A. What's going to happen? You're going to get a rejection, B, and then you're going to go C. And we can actually use this pattern, which is an inverse head and shoulders, to confirm my theory that we're going to retest this line of support that was lost. Okay, let's see. If this is correct, what you should see is the measured move of this should give you that. So if we go from here, let me turn off the magnet. This neckline here down, maybe not, maybe we disregard the wick. That wick was quite strong. Maybe we'll just take the body of this right here, and the neckline, let's say, is right here. Right, because we're going to retest it. See, right there you get confluence. It's interesting how that works, and I think, I mean, it's awesome. Technical analysis, I mean, it's like a story, right? And there's so many different ways. It's like math, rather. It's not like a story. It's like math. It is like a story, but it's like math. You know, there's so many different ways to solve a formula. So many different ways. Anyway, so that's why I think that we're going there. So if you got in here, right, and you traded that, that's an easy 5-6% trade, right? On leverage, 5x leverage, that's 30%. On 10x leverage, that's 50-60%, right? On 20x leverage, that's 120%. That's a lot of money. And that's basically how I do it. I just trade the small moves. You can call that a scalp, but not really, because it takes a while sometimes. And yeah, it's not a swing trade, but I think it's safer because you're less exposed to the market, and it's very precise. It's very precise, right? So once we hit that, I think we're coming down here for 3, right? And 3 is basically going to be our losing support of this line. And like I said, you know, the distance is going to be at minimum this right here. So you're going to come down here. And then 4 is going to be kind of a relief of that, right? That's tradable. You don't have to trade all of these, right? You could just trade, you know, the 3. The 3 is usually the one people want to trade the most because it's the longest usually. So you get the most profits there. And then the 5, right? And so this is why I think we're headed down to 50,500 thereabouts before zooming, before rocketing up to, you know, 6 figures or God knows where, new all-time high. So that's what I see with Bitcoin. Let me know if you all agree, if you think that there is anything that I missed, or, you know, just let me know what you think. If you zoom out, let's zoom out to the hourly time frame. You can see that this is a retest. It's simply a retest. I don't know why people think that this is so weird. Like any other move on a smaller time frame, you expect a retest of the breakout. This is just that. You're retesting the breakout. Obviously, the VPVR shows you that that 47K region is strong for support, but so is the 48K region, right? You can come as low as that, but there's a lot of support where I think we're going to end around 50,500 or 50,300. There's a lot of support there. If you look left, you don't even need the VPVR. If you look left, you'll see that we spent a lot of time here, right? There's a lot of price action here. There's a lot of buyers and sellers. Lots of orders in there, right? So, yeah, that is my idea. That's how low I think we will go for Bitcoin. So, let's see. Let's see. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, that's the best thing, you know, to do, I think, is, oh, I know. One thing I wanted to do is I want to turn on the vital algo indicator just to show a bit of confluence as to what it thinks will happen. So this is a suite of indicators. It's a partner of the channel. I usually have a link to it in the comments, but I haven't pinned a comment, but it should be in the description. And if you use code SDN at checkout, you get 25% off. So that's Vital Algo. And so obviously you can set it up however you want. You have to learn how to set it up though. It doesn't take long to learn, but if you just, you know, don't put any effort into learning how to set it up, you might say it doesn't work. So, you know, try to set it up in the way that you think it would be most useful for you. Everybody's different. Everybody's looking for different things. I'm mostly interested in the high activity sort of nodes, basically when it's telling me a big move was going to take place. I also like how it shows me support and resistance lines that's drawn in by the indicator, right? And I drew almost the same exact line. So that's confluence right there. And then reversal signals, right? Sometimes these are lagging, but you know, they sometimes print just as they're happening or right before they're happening. So SU stands for strong uptrend, R plus stands for reversal. So that's pretty much Vital Algo, and it's not showing me too much more than you know, I saw it's showing me here there's a node, there's buying pressure. The VPVR is showing that too. So the green box is basically there are buyers, there's liquidity, and that's around my third wave, at the end of my third wave. So that makes sense. That's the distance pretty much of this breakdown right here. And then I get my fourth wave, and then I get my fifth wave, but it's showing me that there's a bit weak support down here, but it's not 100% accurate, right? It's just an indicator. Indicators are never 100% accurate. You always have to do your own analysis, and it's best to use the indicators to corroborate all that. Anyway, that's Vital Algo. I'm gonna switch it off now.
A dog.
Hmm.
How
Nico, papa enregistre.
Mommy, touch.
Papa enregistre. Attends. Alright, so I'm gonna look at my Litecoin, see what's going on there. Hopefully it's still going down. I'm in a short. I've been short for quite some time. And just, for those of you who are not subscribed, I trade Litecoin because I didn't get any. I couldn't trade. Phemex is my favorite trading platform. By the way, if you want to trade on Phemex, I recommend it for beginners, for advanced users. And I have a referral code in the comments somewhere, or not in the comments, in the description. But what I recommend is, if you're new to trading or fairly new to trading, if you sign up for these exchanges, they'll literally throw money at you. They'll give you free money, even without depositing anything. Sometimes they'll give you $20, sometimes they'll give you $10. That's a lot. If you use leverage, you can multiply that $10 by 15, by 20, right? And you can trade with it. And if you win that trade and, you make a 30% move, right? 20 times 10 is 200. 30% of that would be, my math's not that good, but you can, you understand, right? You're making a lot of money. Quickly, you can multiply your money by trading with leverage. So it's a very powerful tool. But you don't want to learn it using your own money, using lots of money, because you're probably going to lose that money. So I'd recommend, if you want to learn, if you want to play with leverage, use the bonus money that they give you. Use my referral, use other people's referrals. Do that, and then, kind of learn to trade. And if you like trading, right? Some people hate it, but some people love it. And it's kind of like gambling. So I think most people would like it. The only reason you don't like it, if you do try it, is mostly because you lose. Because it's easy to lose at. Anyway, Litecoin. I trade Litecoin on Phemex because I can use USD as collateral. I couldn't use, until like 3 days ago, I couldn't use USD as collateral to trade Bitcoin. So I traded the next best thing. Not that Litecoin is a favorite coin of mine. It's just that it has good liquidity, and it has good volume usually, and it's regular. It's not like a crazy, like, I'm going to be super volatile coin. So it's nice to trade. It's Bitcoin is nice to trade as well. But now on Phemex you can trade Bitcoin against USD instead of using Bitcoin as collateral, as you had to like 3-4 days ago. That's how early we are. Anyway, A, B, C correction, same as Bitcoin in Litecoin, right? 3 waves down in A, 3 waves up in B, and this is hard to count, right? I like to look at it as, okay, if I'm going down in A, I'm going up in B. So it's going up, a lot of chop, and then up again. The first up is 3, the lot of chop is God knows what, and then the last up is 5 waves up, right? And then you can kind of do the same thing and break it down for the middle part. The middle part is going to be down. So down, chop, down. Do you see that? So that's basically how I like to count these B waves. They're very challenging, and I think if you master the B wave, you can own the markets. You'll know what happens all the time. Because the A wave and the C wave are pretty straightforward. The A wave is just 3 waves down, then you get a lot of chop and confusion in the B wave, and then the C wave you get 5 waves down. And you see, I've been tracking this, and this is why I've been shorting. I've been short because I knew that once we lost support, and here, kind of like Bitcoin, you can know when you lose support. You just look at all of this, right? And this was kind of your first sign of losing support. You knew that, okay, the market would kind of try and rally. I didn't know it was going to come this high to try and regain that position, but then it lost it, right? And that's when we started our impulse down in the C wave, right? So you can use support and resistance to try and find entries for shorts, but I think it's best to use a combination of support and resistance as well as knowledge of Elliott wave. You don't need, intricate knowledge of how to count a B wave. You just need basic, knowledge that the C wave, you're in an ABC correction, and the C wave is 5 waves down, and so you're starting your 5 waves. So basically, like I said before, I'm trading this, I'm trading that, I'm trading that, I'm longing this, and I'm longing that. Maybe I'm not longing 2 waves, but as I said, 2 waves in crypto are usually really long. This one's unusually short, but yeah, I just trade in bits and pieces. I chop it up, so I'm longing and shorting and longing and shorting, and just building. I'm not trying to give anything back to the market, and these are significant P&Ls. These are significant profits. If your portfolio's decently sized, and you don't need that much again on nice leverage to be decently sized. I prefer 20x leverage. That's like my go-to. I think it's safe enough. It gives my stop loss. I have enough buffer that I can make mistakes and still not get stopped out too easily or liquidated. So I'm comfortable with 20x. Back when I was trading on Bybit, I was trading a 50, 100x, and I would get stopped out and liquidated all the time. But again, I was practicing with very little sums. A lot of practice money, a lot of bonus money, right? In any case, I think we're in a 4th wave here. We've been in this 4th wave pretty much all day. It's annoying. It's 12 hours. I've been waiting for this drop, and I've been kind of scared that it would reverse course on me. So I've got my alert set here, and I got my stops in profit. But one thing on stop losses, I don't like to always set a stop loss, but then at a certain point, you don't set stop loss. I'm going to explain why. Stop losses are great, obviously. You mitigate risk. Always want to mitigate risk. But you also want to be careful not to create an opportunity to get stopped out, to get stop hunted. And how do you get stop hunted? If you're too close to the action. So if your stops are too tight, you will get stopped. You will get stopped out, because people usually set their stops exactly where professional, savvy traders make their entries for longs and shorts. And that's pretty much it. So usually it's best to set your stops away from the action, and usually that's in loss, unfortunately, if your margin isn't large enough for that to be in gain, and you haven't been, you're not really, you're not deep into your position. Or one thing I like to do is enter my position, wait till it gets further along, then set my stops. So I initially don't set any stops, wait till I get progression, manually kind of monitor the position, and then I set my stops later on. So like here, I got in around, where did I get in? I got in around here for this move, and I let it go, and then now I set my stops because we've been in this 4th wave, and I know there's quite a lot of resistance here. So I set my stops in profit here, and I know that it's not easy for the market to just run and hit that stop and wick up and take me out, because it's happened to me before, and I hate it. I hate getting stop hunted. So anyway, that's my bit on stop hunting. If you're trading, and you'll learn this, without having to read about it, because if you trade enough, you will get stop hunted. You will set your stops exactly where, under the previous low or whatever, and you're just going to lose your position. Market's just going to hit it and then reverse course, go in the direction that you knew it was going to go in, and you're going to be like, what the hell? You're going to feel like somebody's out to get you. It's yes and no. It's just that's where savvy investors, savvy traders make their entries. They have to. They have no choice, because you and I can buy, whatever we want whenever we want. But those over-the-counter traders, they need to wait, or they need to get more liquidity, right? They need to make sure that there's enough liquidity. So that's why they have to stop you out to get enough coins, right? Whether it's Litecoin or Bitcoin or whatever. That's my son. Sorry. Nicolas, j'enregistre mon fils. Merci. T'es très gentil. So yeah, that's my bit on stop hunting. It's kind of an advanced trading techniques, and if you're doing this for a living or you're making enough, and you got larger positions, you're gonna get hunted that much more because you've got a lot of coins that they want to fill their positions with. So, all right. Anyway, my Litecoin trade. I'm waiting for it to come here. I basically did my 5-wave count, and I used fibs to measure all of these different waves. So that's what I'm doing, and hopefully it gets down here. And once we're down here, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen because will Bitcoin be finished correcting by then? If it's not, what are we doing? Are we going to reverse course and go up, or are we going to continue to come down? I feel like the latter is more likely. So I'm going to take profit here, but if we're showing signs of weakness and Bitcoin is still correcting, I'm going to prepare for a massive short, right? And that short would be massive. Why? Because it would be the distance of this massive head and shoulders here. So we would come all the way down here to about $138 for a massive retest of this kind of this breakout. So that's my plan on my Litecoin trade. Nicolas, s'il te plaît, mon cœur. Je suis en train d'enregistrer. So yeah, my son likes to jump and make noise. Yeah, that's my Litecoin trade. All right. So the last part of this live stream, I want to talk about what to get on the dip. So look at this watch list. Bitcoin has literally Bitcoin just showed the intention of going down, right? It just thought of going down. It hasn't even broken support completely. It hasn't closed candles below support. And now that it's done that, everything else pretty much is down except for a few projects, right? Go VRA. But you know, these are going to correct as well. Waves, VRA, everything's going to correct. So that being said, we're going to have some buying opportunities, and I think it's really important in crypto to always think, whether you're going up or down, find ways to capitalize, right? Let's say you're not a trader. Nicolas, s'il te plaît. Let's say you're not a trader and you're not longing and shorting the market, and you do have a part of your portfolio that you trade in and out of, you know, some way. You know, I'm not talking about your HODL portfolio, but there's some part of your portfolio that you trade in and out of. If you're following the price, you may want to sell to kind of double or kind of increase your position by shorting the market, spot shorting, right? So you're not necessarily leverage trading. Nicolas, s'il te plaît. You're not necessarily leverage trading this move down, but you're spot shorting by selling the top and buying back lower. Okay, that's risky, and I don't recommend anybody do that, especially if you don't know what you're doing, or, you know, if you don't kind of have an idea, you're not sure, right? If you're kind of new, just hold, buy and hold, buy good projects, hold, wait for a top-ish, and then try and sell, right? Find out, you know, what the top is. Maybe you follow somebody on YouTube and there's, you know, you trust them, and, you know, you make your own decisions. But I think it's a great idea to spot short if you're not leverage shorting, or to leverage short, and you use those profits and you turn them into great buying opportunities, because the rest of these coins are going to tank. All right. And so my question is, what now would be great to buy given that we're going down? What would be a great buy? And so I'm looking up and down my watch list, and I'm looking at projects with good fundamentals. I'm looking at, let's see. I'm looking at Define, right? I'm recording. God damn. So I'm looking at Define. This is a great DeFi play, right? This has been getting nuked for God knows how long. This has been getting nuked. Look at this chart, right? Obviously, you want to look at the fundamentals and you want to figure out, if this is something worth investing in, but we're just looking at charts here. This is a great buy. And if Bitcoin nukes, it's going to go even further. And I'm a little on the fence with DeFi right now just because of all the exploits. But as far as DeFi goes, this is one of the best plays. All right, so this is defined. This is what I'm looking at. I'm also looking at Happy. Happy is basically the solution to all of those DeFi exploits. It's one of those. It's actually a unique selling proposition. It's the only oracle that has security built in, right, by the Hacking Foundation. Donna Mara, she's leading this project. It is an amazing project. There's nothing like it, and I think it's going to be very popular now that people know that DeFi is just so easy to hack. It's hard to make these smart contracts bulletproof, right? So that's Happy. That's something I'm looking at. So if Bitcoin nukes 10%, I mean, this is coming down, and that's a great buying opportunity. So I'm looking at Happy. I'm looking at Define. I'm looking at, here, let's go into my micro cap. I'm looking at some gaming plays, gaming NFTs, like Rev, okay? Rev would be, I mean, this is backed by Animoca Brands. They literally don't miss. They backed Axie Infinity. This is one of their big plays. So, I mean, like, look at what Axie did, right? If Rev does anything like Axie, this is a great buy. I mean, look at this chart. It's very low. I mean, and if Bitcoin dumps, it's going to be even lower. So I'm looking at Rev. I'm looking at, hey, if you want to get involved in Moon River. Moonbeam's not out yet, but Moon River, right? It ran all the way to $400, almost $500. It just executed an ABC correction. It still has a lot more to go down. If Bitcoin tanks, this ABC correction is going to go even further. So, that's one of the great things about knowing a little bit about technical analysis. We know that an ABC correction goes boom, 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 and we know how to measure the C wave. This is clearly a zigzag correction. The C wave is going to go 200% or 223.6% of the A wave. So if you want to get involved in Moon River, we measure that it's going to go no, there's no way it's going down there. That can't be right because the 223.6 is negative. Let's see. No, this is it. This is the A wave. The A wave started here. Yeah, sorry. I pulled that wrong. Okay, yeah. It can go all the way down to $84 or $44, right? And remember, the C wave is in 5, right? So this is 1, 2, this is the third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave. So that's just the magic of analysis, right? If you want to get involved in Moon River, you can get involved in $84, $44. I'm looking at that, right? That's a great entry. That's an excellent entry for this project. What else? Stratus, STOS. This is going to be huge, right? Again, we're not talking technical analysis. We're just talking charts. And this is the wrapped ether chart, but still, you can get an idea. If Bitcoin's going to tank, if this comes down close to its point of control, it's a great buy. Stratus, I'm looking at Atlas. Kind of already ran. It's a great project, but it kind of already ran. If Bitcoin continues to go down, it's going to get rejected. It's probably going to find support down here. So, yeah, Atlas, Star Atlas is a great project. It's both a Solana play and a gaming NFT play. So you got two trends there. So I definitely think that that's a great idea. IMX, I just can't see F all on this chart. So there's not much I can do, and it's not really out. So I don't really like investing in things sight unseen. I like to look at the charts and trying to make a good entry. And the last one I want to look at is convergence. And again, just looking at the chart, this dip, this correction is going to give us great opportunities to enter, right? We're basically already kind of hugging the bottom on convergence, right? But it looks like we're going to come down even further down here if Bitcoin nukes. So we get A, B, C correction. So anywhere on this point of control would make sense. So anywhere near 3 cents. So again, these are the opportunities I think are great to take advantage of when Bitcoin does these things. Don't be caught unawares. And this is one of the reasons why you want to follow the price of Bitcoin. And this is where you can make your money, right? Instead of just buying willy-nilly, wait for a dip, either spot short or don't do anything at all. Wait till things like this happen, then you break out your pocketbook and you invest in these projects because it's going to be in C and red, and you buy the red, you buy the dumps, you buy the blood, even if it's your own. Yeah. So that's a great time to get involved. Rami, I was saying that Bitcoin is most likely going to correct to around 50,500 thereabouts, right? And if you're looking to make an entry, don't wait till 50,500 because it can stop at 50,075 and then just start running. And this is going to run. Remember that this is the third wave of an Elliott wave impulse. So the third wave is the strongest, it's most impulsive, the craziest wave. So if you're looking to make an entry, don't wait till the last dollar or the last candle is printed. Buy a little bit before, maybe at 51K or whatever. But I think, in my estimation, based off of what I'm seeing, 50,500 thereabouts is going to be the end of this correction. And I'm going to continue to monitor this, right? I may change my charts. I may change my wave count as we print more candles and I get more information. But from everything that I know now, the expanded flat of this ABC gives me that 50,000. It gives me 50,500 thereabouts, a little before that. And then these 5 waves down based on this first wave that we've printed from the 11th gives me around that same price. So that's when I think you should buy. All right, so that's it. We're going to keep this stream relatively short, to an hour. I have a meeting later, but hope that was helpful. Hope that was useful. If you like that kind of content, like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.